Testing, testing, testing. Okay, you hear this? They don't gotta be so loud, right? I think that's good. Alright, perfect. Let me know if the audio is good. Team should be good. Still with just one monitor, so bear with me while I navigate through my tabs. We'll give everybody another 4 minutes to join, and then we will get started. Hope everyone had a great weekend so far. Again, just gonna give about another few more minutes to join and then we will get started. Any questions, let me know. Anything that's not making sense that you guys want me to repeat or talk about again, let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. If not, we will be going over the pairs you see on the right hand side with the red flag next to their name, starting off with AUDUSD, finishing off with USOIL. We will be going in order from the top to the bottom, but again, if there's a specific pair you want me to talk about, just let me know and we'll do that. Markets opened a few hours ago. We could see that a lot of pairs are moving. Again, over the weekend there was a whole bunch of news, so the market moving this way is nothing new. It's something that we should all be expecting. Just wait for price to give us what we want to see, guys. Again, I'm gonna have to go back and forth to look at the chat, so just let me know if you have any questions. Once again, just gonna give everybody a few more minutes to join. Just kind of want to go through these pairs one by one real quick before I get started, just to see what's going on. Right, we could already see there are some pairs that are just consolidating. They've just been moving sideways for a whole week. We can see some pairs are already almost at their STP mark. Some pairs are counter trending. So just looking at this from the top to the bottom, just glancing through it, right, I'm not really expecting too much out of the market to start off the week, so we'll be patient as always. Love that gold left these gaps at the bottom. It's flying now. Eventually price will have to come down the same way that it did with AU, just opposite. Remember that gap that we had back in October of 2024? Gap was filled, gave us a shoulder head shoulder, gave us an internal change and break, gave us a 1 hour engulfing. Beautiful. I wish I would have been active on the charts. Wish I would have been active on the charts. It was a beautiful change of character, right? And then just continuation for the week for a 372. So beautiful trades on AU. So same thing that AU was doing is going to be the exact same thing I'm looking for on gold, just inverse. Instead of a downtrend from AU, I'm looking for the pull back on gold to then continue. Same thing, just inverse, right? Pairs like Bitcoin, just consolidating this week, moving sideways. And then US oil, right? Same thing. Reject, 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 reject. Went to these lows, rejected these lows again, coming back to the highs, right? And it did break these highs on the 30 minutes. So higher time frame, we know we're trading at the lower low, right? The daily low, the 4 hour low, the 30-minute lows. So let's see. Look at the chat one more time. No questions in the chat. Alright, let's get started, guys. Once again, if there's no questions in the chat, After every 2 pairs or so, I'll go back to the chat. I'll see if there's any questions. If there's no questions, we'll get through this fairly quick. Once again, this is the weekly market breakdown. This is where we update our daily time frame, 4-hour time frame, 30-minute time frame, update our highs, our lows, our continuations. We're at the start of the week, so on the 4-hour we'll update to see if we have any continuations for the week, or any continuations on the 30-minute time frame, our day-to-day time frame. So AUDUSD, we know we are still in a downtrend. We are currently in level 3, looking for that last and final push back down to the bottom. Price gave us a lower low, went up to our lower high point. Our lower high point, price filled in that gap. Once price filled that gap in, started going down, right? Daily time frame gave us an exhaustion candle, beautiful. Lower time frames, this is where I want to start seeing the trend start developing. I want to start seeing lower lows and lower highs. At this point on the 4-hour, we're at a higher high. We're trading between a previous higher high and higher low. We had a week of drop, and then this week price gave us a no net, so no continuations on the 4-hour time frame, unfortunately. And on the lower time frames, right, we could see a shoulder head shoulder developing, which looks a lot better on the 1-hour and 4-hour time frame, right? This is the shoulders, this is the head, and this is the shoulder that's being developed now. So even on the 4-hour time frame, just zooming into it, we could go ahead and mark this up on the 4-hour. Use our major time frames to mark up structure. And then on the 30-minute time frame, let's see. We had higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, change of character, lower high, lower low. Right, lower high, lower low, lower high. So we are trading between this 30-minute high over here and these lower lows over here. We had 2 days of drop on the 3rd day on Friday, gave us that 3rd day low. We know that price left us with a 5-minute gap here at the top, so we want to be careful with this. Wait and see what happens. Price gave us, yes, even though we have a change of character and a break of structure, we're sitting on the 800 EMA. Price respected the 800 EMA. Look at these candles. On the 800 is just faking traders out back to back. Gave you an exhaustion candle going long, and it gave you an exhaustion candle going short. Opened up the week with a gap on the market, resets the trend. Price is trending to the top side. So we'll be patient with AU. At this point, again, what I'll be looking for is a break below our shoulder head shoulder to give us that confirmation that the trend has shifted from an uptrend to a downtrend. So still have to wait just a little bit longer. Shoulder on the AU was goody candle. Yes, sir. Once again, I only have one monitor, so bear with me. I'll go back and forth from the chat and the charts. Again, any questions, just let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over, let me know. Gonna try to be finished with this in 30 minutes or so it's not too long of a session. I know I started this late, so I don't want this session to be longer than 30 minutes. We've already been live for how long? Let's check real quick. 10 minutes, so let's try to knock this out quick. AUDCAD daily time frame, we're in the first zone of consolidation, A1. We're going back to the top of the zone of consolidation. We have a month of no net, no continuations. Price broke above the zone of consolidation that we had on the 4-hour time frame. We have a week of no net and then a week of rise, so no continuations on AUDCAD. Price is still moving counter trend. And on the 30-minute time frame, we are still respecting the 30-minute higher high and higher low that we previously made. We have a day of no net for Friday. No continuations on AUDCAD, still moving counter trend. We'll let price do what it has to do and then we'll come back to it. Euro AUD. We are in level 3 on an uptrend. Charts froze. Right, we have level 1, level 2. level 3, and we're looking for price to reach our previous peak highs in level 3. Instead of just giving us a simple higher high, higher low into a higher high, it gave us a zone of consolidation, and price right now is at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. This is what we would call our safety trade, taking longs at the bottom of the zone of consolidation. We just need to wait for price to start uptrending now. How do we know when to start taking trades? Once we see that price is making higher highs and higher lows, once we see a continuation, that's when we'll start looking to take trades. And right now, what do we still see? Lower lows and lower highs. We had 2 days of rise. On the third day, price decided to just give us a no net, understanding that this 372 is what a counter trend, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Even though we had 2 days of rise as well. So let's talk about EA. Let's say that on Friday you want to take this trade, and you take it. You have the understanding that you're trading between a previous lower low and lower high point. And you're also on the understanding that you're trading between a previous high that has been rejected before. You take this trade, right, end of Asia, going into London session, right, somewhere around these areas here. You know that your targeted TP is going to be yesterday's high. You see that at the end of Asia going into London, price didn't tap into the highs, it just stayed up here. And you saw that price again at the end of London going into NYC. Price came back to these highs. Once you see that price is already rejecting these highs, that's when you should get out of the trade. Now, Friday was a little bit different, just for the reason that you had news as well on Friday. The fact that you're in a trade before news, and the fact that you're in a trade going counter trend, those are also two key things you need to be aware of when you're taking these trades. Again, does it make it bad trades? No, because you have everything else on the internal time frame. You have the change of character, you have a break of structure, you have a 15-minute engulfing candle, you have the bounces off the EMAs. You have a lot of confirmations here that tells you that price is going to go up to the top side. But at the same time, you have to ask yourself, okay, if price does this, then this is what has to happen after the fact. And if price does that, then this is what's going to happen if that happens. So that's why it's very, very important when you're taking trades like this, especially when you're still moving counter trend. Is very important to keep an eye on market structure, and very important to keep an eye on candlestick analysis. It's very important. 15-minute, there's a gap on EURCAD going on the 15-minute. This is where I'll pay more attention to 30-minute candles, and if we induce those previous highs, will be another session to get out other trade as well. Yep, exactly. Right, even looking for trades now, you can see that we're in a pretty small zone of consolidation at this point. Could you get away with getting into another trade here going back to the top side? Yeah, right? Especially if you get an inducement of the low, you got the internal, same thing that you saw here, same thing happened here. You could get away with taking another trade, but understanding that you're trading in the zone of consolidation. So once price, you get into a trade, and once price gets back up here, you need to exit the trade. Right, because price is either going to reject it to go back down, or you wait for price to give you the break, the retest, and then you get in again to continue back to the top side. I bet my mouse got stuck. But wasn't bad. EA. Again, we'll be patient with that. As soon as we start uptrending again on EA, that's when I'll start looking to take those trades. They said EURCAD has a gap on the 15-minute time frame. Yeah, right here. And we have that gap is also very close to this engulfing candle on the 15th. So let's reevaluate AUDUSD real quick. I need more space for my mouse. Hold on. Reevaluate AUDUSD real quick. So once again, AUDUSD is going back to the top of the zone of consolidation. These highs, we don't really have anything on the daily. On the 4-hour, this is just the highs of the internal time frame. Right, and on the 4-hour, we technically have a 4-hour engulfing candle here as well. Price tapped into it here, then went down. Right, 30-minute time frame, we're still making higher highs and higher lows. And the engulfing candle is below that 30-minute high. So we'll be careful with this one. We'll be careful with this one. But we'll see how price reacts at these highs. It's a good eye for that pair. Alright, so EURCAD. Once again, I'm going to start speeding it up. How long we been? 18 minutes? Okay, it took us 8 minutes to do one pair. Damn. EURCAD, we are in peak high. So this is a pair that I'm just going to update. I'm going to keep updated, but I'm not going to be trading EURCAD. Right, these pairs that are in peak highs or peak lows, I'm going to go back to treating them how I used to treat them in the past. We're just going to let them be. Unless we have a continuation or something easy to take. Again, peak high, technically we're still on an uptrend. We have lower low, lower high, lower low. Price tapped into the 30-minute highs, went back down. Peak high, technically we're still on an uptrend. Right now, are we uptrending? No. So, once again, I'll be looking for those breaks above the highs, you know, potential 372s, 3 weeks of highs, 3 months of rise. That's what I'll take on pairs like EURCAD. So for right now, nothing to trade. EU is still counter trending to the bottom side. We are in level 2 on an uptrend. No continuations. We have 2 months of rise, looking for price give us a 3rd month high, but once again, we just made new highs on the daily time frame. Price gave us a higher high, came back to these highs and gave us an inducement, even gave us an exhaustion candle. So I'm not expecting too much out of EU. Higher high, higher low, higher high on the 4-hour time frame. Same thing, we could see that a little bit clear where price just gave us an inducement of the high, then came back down. We have a week of drop last week. This week, price gave us a 2nd week of drop. 3rd week already gave us that new low, and then price started pushing up to the top side. 30-minute time frame, we have 3 days of drop. Price gave us 4 days of drop. We have lower low, lower high. Right? Do I say that this is lower low, lower high, lower low? We might have to say it. Okay. So we're trading between these lows and these highs. We can already see prices pretty much already given us STP for the day for EU. 44 minus what, 33%, minus 33%, 29 pips. We already did STP for the day, so EU, we could turn that off. I was iffy on calling that the new lower low for EU. Or if was it for that for EURCAD? No, that was for EU. Well, where am I? I turned it off, okay. The reason I am is simply just clean break, clean retest, clean break happened down here, right? And then this is pretty much where the inducement happened. If this would have never given us at least a retest of where the break happened, you know, then I would have said, ah, it's not really a significant pullback, but we could see that it is, right? Because then we had exhaustion, we had exhaustion candles that tapped into the 30-minute high, right? Came back down, and then price gave us the inducement again of the lows. So at this point now we have inducements of the lows and we have inducements of the highs, right? So this is a very strong area. Before we see price do anything, right, either price is going to break these highs and continue to push to the top side, or price is going to again just give us an inducement of these highs to then go back down, and we'll see the same thing at these lows, right? At these lows, price is either going to give us another inducement to then continue back to the top side, turn this into like a little zone of consolidation, or price is going to break these lows to then continue back down to the bottom. So having those strong highs and lows, that kind of already gives you the confirmation that you need to tell you that those are strong low and high points as well. Makes sense. I'll still paying attention, but yeah, that makes sense. Stopping point, created a stopping point. Yep, exactly. For GA, we are in PCAD territory still, so there's another one that we're just going to update. Not going to be trading it unless I get any continuations going to the top side. Last week we had a week of no net. This week we had a week of drop. Still trading between the same 4-hour highs and lows, daily highs and lows, and 30 minutes same highs and lows as well. Moving counter trend, we had a day of rise on Thursday, and then Friday price gave us a day of no net. GCAD price is just moving sideways. I haven't even updated this chart. Why is that? Let me see. GCAD, we are in PCAD territory. That's why. Okay. 2 months where price is moving sideways. We had a week of no net, and then price gave us a slight week of rise. At the beginning of the week we went up, and then the end of Tuesday going into the entire rest of the week, Tuesday to Friday, price was just moving sideways. Nothing to talk about on GCAD. Then let's update this real quick so we're not far behind. So we had a day of rise, we had a day of drop, then we had another day of rise, then we had a day of no net, then we had a day of rise, then we had a day of no net, then we had a day of no net, then we had another day of drop here, and then we have a day of rise here. And then our 30-minute zones is still very far, right? These 30-minute lows down here. Oh. And then our 30-minute highs are up here. So GCAD, we're going to wait it out. Once we start seeing the trend, we'll start trading it again. GJ gave us a 3 days of drop. After 3 days of drop, the market must move sideways or go up. As soon as the market opened, flew to the top side. Still trading between the same 30-minute highs and lows as well. 4-hour time frame, and we know GJ's in peak high as well, so this is another one where I'm just going to be trading continuations. Anything else is very high risk. Daily time frame, 3 months of rise. I'm not expecting price to continue these uptrends at this point. We're back at the daily and the 4-hour highs, so we'll see what price does. Would love to see engulfing candles up here, especially bearish. Here we go. 30-minute time frame. Price gave us a bearish engulfing candle, but it tapped into it way too many times for me to feel comfortable to get into another trade here at these highs. So not only that, 50 EMA is above the 200. Still looks like price is on an uptrend. Internal time frame, we're still uptrending as well. We had a change of character, we had a break of structure, we had a retest. higher high, higher low, higher high on the 5-minute time frame as well. So GJ will be patient. We'll wait for price to turn around before we do anything out of the ordinary. GU also looks like price wants to hit STP already. We had 3 days of drop. Price gave us a 4th day, opened up with a gap, resets to trend. 30-minute time frame also gave us a little change of character, lower low. So we are trading between these highs up here and these lows down here. And I'm going to be using these lows here, pretty much. In GU we could turn that off again. STP for the day, 68 minus 33%. 68 minus 33% is 45 pips. 45 pips is STP. We already did 43 for the day, so not expecting GU to move. NZD, USD, the ones that pretty much already moved, I'm gonna just turn them off and we'll wait for tomorrow. US30, I don't want to talk about that in the weekly market breakdowns. USDCAD, I'm not trading it, as well as USDZAR, so I'm gonna turn these off. Gold, let's take a look. Gold already hit STP for the day. We have 2 days of rise, right? Monday being the 3rd day, which we already see the market open, gave us that 3rd push to the top side. Also gave us a gap at the bottom of the market. Still see the uptrend happening on gold. Broke above our 4-hour highs as well. Well, not yet. Still an inducement. We'll have to wait for the next 4-hour candle, but could be another higher high, higher low point on gold. Peak high with gold as well. Bitcoin is just moving sideways, so I'm going to turn this one off as well. I'm not going to be trading Bitcoin for now. And then US oil, I will have to update this. Let's take a look. We had a higher high, change of character, higher low. Right, and then price gave us a higher high break of structure. So we are now trading between these lows on gold and then whatever highs are set up here. Then we have 2 days of rise. Right, 1 day, 2 day. Price opened, market opened, already gave us that 3rd day push as well to the top side. So as of right now, 30-minute time frame, we are on an uptrend with oil. 4-hour time frame, we have a week of rise, counter trend. No continuations on the 4-hour, and on the daily time frame we have a week of no net. Once again, we are back at the lower lows where we have an inducement of the 4-hour and the daily lows. So at this point, this internal change of character and break of structure seems like it is high probability to just continue to give us a pullback on the lower time frame. So we'll be patient, we'll wait it out. Again, just from a glance at looking at a lot of these pairs, I'm not really expecting anything for the NYC session. I'm not really expecting anything easy to trade. You know, again, maybe AUDCAD will give us something. But for the most part, as you guys could see, a lot of these pairs are just moving sideways. Some of these pairs are moving counter trend. And then some of these pairs also are just already giving us STP only an hour after the market is open. So we'll be patient if we need to. Two days of rise with a gap, resets the trend. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate with US30. And again, kind of crazy, a lot of the pairs that correlate differently, that they move opposite from each other. You know, they're moving the exact same and then they're not even following suit with what we want to see with the other pairs. So again, we'll be patient. No rush. A lot of news to keep in mind as well. Any questions in the chat, let me know. Any specific pairs you guys want me to go over before we turn the stream off? If not, And that's pretty much it for the day, and we'll be back again tomorrow morning for the live trading session. You know, again, I'll turn the stream on tomorrow. I'm gonna make it a thing again where I'm just gonna turn the stream on. Even if there's nothing to trade, if there's nothing to look at, we'll go over every single pair again the same way we just did now. We'll talk about the moves, what it did, what's, you know, if there's anything left, we'll talk about anything, any pairs that are left. And then if not, it'll just be a quick stream. Talk about, you know, the sessions. And then if there's nothing to trade in the morning, then we'll be back at 7 p.m. for the isolation session. So pretty much it for me. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Any questions? Again, I'll give you another minute in the chat. Anything else you want me to talk about? Anything you want me to explain? Let me know. Yo, Kendall, did you get the t-shirt already or not? Yo, go pick it up, man. I made some like little changes to the website. I added discipline over motivation. I added their jersey to the website. I added their team shop to the website. I made the team shop for casual MX. I have the designer. He's ready to start designing some things for the motocross side of it. So I have that up and running already. All I had to get is the designs made for it. What else did I do? Some back end stuff. You know, like before I was only able to upload one picture, so now I could upload multiple. So I did it with the jersey, so you can see the jerseys on the product page. You can see like the front and the back of it. And yeah, man. I think that was it. There was a few bugs I had to fix, but I think I fixed everything so far. I know the featured page right now, if you scroll down on the home page, the picture for one of the products isn't propagating correctly. So that's something that I have to wait to get credits again. I'm not gonna buy another set. I already bought some yesterday. So I'll just wait for the next time I re-up on that. I think it's like the 23rd or something. What else? I think that's it, man. Again, if you know anybody that wants to start a clothing brand, let me know. If they got designs made or if they don't, we'll get them right. I'm gonna send the pic when I go pick it up, bet. Yeah, I need to know if it's good quality too. That's what I'm waiting for Bo. Because he got his jerseys on Saturday as well. So I'm waiting for him to let me know how the quality is for the jerseys, so I could at least know. I'm actually gonna text him again though. Alright, my brother. I hope everyone has a good rest of their night. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Peace out.